Hey, I'm Soul Brother Mike, and I've got a brand new Christmas EP that's out now. It's called Solstice, of course spelled S-O-U-L, and you can listen to it on iTunes, Spotify, or head to soulbrothermike.com. Hello and welcome to Get Collected. I'm your host, Soul Brother Mike, and it's Wednesday, November 22nd, 2017, and you're listening to Season 5, Episode 5. Get Collected is co-hosted by Chrissy Cochran.
Hey, hey.
Today in new music, we have a song by Francis and the Lights, and here's something, a new song from my Christmas EP, Solstice. And then in Get Political, we have two fresh political news stories for you. Now let's get to the show. Today for new music, I have a song from 2010. Admittedly, not all that hot and fresh, but I do feel like this song has more meaning now than ever. I'm talking about a song called Get in the Car by Francis and the Lights. Francis and the Lights is an American band led by Francis Farwell Starlight, pretty crazy name, and they have a few albums out now, and some more recent singles feature Chance the Rapper and also Bon Iver. But the track we're going to listen to is from the album It'll Be Better, and that whole album is stunning, and so are some of the associated music videos, especially the video for Darling, It's Alright. So make sure you go check out some of these videos. They reveal Francis as an artist and performer, maybe even before he's a musician. Maybe he's an artist-performer first. It's hard to tell with Francis. Now the song Get in the Car is all about a predator, a persuader, an influencer, someone of power trying to get you in their car. We've had a lot of predators in the media recently with the wave of sexual harassment claims being made against major Hollywood stars like Kevin Spacey and guys like Harvey Weinstein. So this specific song kind of came to my mind. One of the big lyric lines in the song is, "Don't let the world find out what a coward you are. You should get in the car." This exactly marks the type of shame predators try to place on their victims to keep them silent and to manipulate them into doing what they want. And yet, for such a heavy topic, the music to this song is kind of peaceful, maybe uplifting, like a good Hollywood movie score. It makes you wonder, how could something sound so beautiful and be so depraved? The way this song handles that issue is kind of genius in that way. So please enjoy now Francis and the Lights with Get in the Car.
When you were young, you would sit in the back seat. Those days are gone. Now you're on your own 2 feet, but it's not that simple. Not as easy as it seems. You're gonna need someone like me. So get in the car. Get in the car. Because your mother told me to meet you right here. I know it sounds crazy, but it's true, I swear. You gotta be careful. These guys will eat you alive. You gotta believe me. You're gonna want me by your side, so get in the car. You could be bigger than Madonna. Get in the car. Come on, you know you wanna. You're moving backwards, and you Don't you wanna make money? 'Cause you're making a mistake. I'll let you ride in the front seat, honey. Don't let the world find out what a coward you are. You should get in the car.
That was Francis and the Lights with Get in the Car from his 2010 album It'll Be Better on the Get Collected podcast. Today on Here's Something, we're listening to a brand new song from my new EP, Solstice. I know it's a little early for Christmas music, but this song is more about the solstice, more than it's about Christmas. So the song is called The Winter Solstice, and it's about a very rare phenomena. Every 19 years or so, we get a full moon on the winter solstice, making it a rare, incredibly long and bright night. The Farmer's Almanac describes this night as being traditionally a very still, crisp night, and people have described it as windless and bright. Now, Chrissy was the one who reminded me that although the moon may be full and the night long, the moonrise and set isn't guaranteed to line up with the sunrise and sunset, of course. And there could be clouds and other weather that could affect your viewing. But for the sake of the song, I imagined a lovely, lovely night. Here's The Winter Solstice.
The full moon on the winter solstice, and the full moon light made it sparkle so bright. We saw the full moon on the winter solstice, a night so still, it gives me a thrill. And your love is rare, like the winter solstice. It took many years to find a woman like you, and I can see tonight 'cause it's clear as day. There's a light in the darkness, so don't be afraid. And it's a love, love, lovely night. It's a lovely night. Your love is sweet like the winter solstice. A night so still, it gives me a thrill. And I believe in love 'cause you've made it authentic. So I must compliment it. You make love so nice. And it's a love, love, lovely night. It's a lovely night. So I'll be strong now and coming on to you, and I'll kiss you the way only I can do. Oh baby, let me kiss you by the moon. The full moon on the winter solstice, and the full moon light, it made it sparkle so bright. We saw the full moon on the winter solstice, a night so still, it gives me a thrill. And it's a love, love, lovely night. It's a lovely night. It's a love, lovely night. It's a lovely night. Yes, it's a love, love, lovely night. It's a lovely night. Yeah.
All right, that was The Winter Solstice by myself. Reach out to me on Twitter at SoulBrotherMike and let me know what you thought. Also, if you'd like to download and own that recording, subscribe to the Get Collected podcast on Patreon. For $5 a month, you get access to all of the music that we feature in the Here's Something part of our show. It's usually rare and otherwise unreleased. Members also receive a bonus overtime segment. So go subscribe now at patreon.com/getcollected. Today on Get Political, we have a couple stories to share with you. The first we want to share with you is about the defacement of a statue in Montreal. On November 11th, an anonymous group drenched a statue of John A. Macdonald in orange paint. The incident was filmed and posted to YouTube, and you can find the link to that in the description of this podcast. The group also posted a statement saying John A. Macdonald was a white supremacist. He directly contributed to the genocide of Indigenous peoples with the creation of the brutal residential school system, as well as other measures meant to destroy Native cultures and traditions. He was racist and hostile toward non-white minority groups in Canada, openly promoting the preservation of a so-called Aryan Canada. They also said the action today is inspired in part by movements in the USA to target public symbols of white supremacy for removal, such as Confederate statues.
I think it's really important that they issued that statement, and I think it's important to educate the public about John A. Macdonald and about his, unfortunately quite shameful legacy. And I think it must be really difficult for Native people especially to be seeing this statue or seeing other representations of him in their daily life. So I totally sympathize with the call to have it removed. But again, the movement in the States is to remove the statues, not to deface them. And I think that's the right course of action. I think these statues have a place in museums where they can be presented in context, maybe with some language about the good and bad of their legacies. To me, it's also a statue is a work of art. There is an artist out there that was commissioned to create this, and you're defacing their work in doing this. And the way that they did this was really bizarre. If you get a chance to look at the video, it's sort of like they used a high-powered spray paint of some kind, as opposed to the sort of dramatic dousing that you might imagine, with a big paint can or something. It was more like a paint cannon. But I think this isn't the right way to go about doing this, but it's good to get the conversation started and to start rewriting history about people like John A. Macdonald and what they really meant to this country, good and bad.
So the next story we want to share with you on Get Political is about Jordan Chariton. We named him the Media Personality of the Year for 2016. And he's continued doing good work this year, but he's fallen into a really terrible situation. He's a reporter for the Young Turks Network, also known as TYT, and he's done a lot of big stories as a journalist. He was the one who exposed that Donna Brazile was leaking questions of the debates with Bernie Sanders to Hillary Clinton. So he exposed that and was part of why Donna Brazile was fired from CNN. He also did a lot of great journalism covering the Dakota Access Pipeline protests, and he was one of the only people there. All the major news networks didn't send anyone to report on that, so he was sort of the only one actually getting good tape and documenting what happened there. He also did a lot of good work in Flint, Michigan, and those are the types of reasons why we were naming him Media Personality of the Year. Unfortunately, he's fallen into a bad situation and is accused of sexual misconduct at this time and has been fired from the Young Turks Network. There's a lot of details to the story, and we don't really know what's facts, so we can't comment too much about it. Jordan did go on Medium to describe the event, claiming to be coming forward with the truth and transparency and honesty. And his version of the story is about him staying in a hotel room in which an orgy was beginning to take place of some kind, where, there were a couple women and another man, and people were performing fellatio on each other, I guess. And at a point, Jordan Chariton begins to engage in sexual conduct with one of the women in the room, and he claims it was consensual. She was married, and so this would be an affair for her. But I feel like the biggest issue, though, was that, from what I understand, this woman was working for Jordan for his independent media company, which is called Truth Against the Machine. So that's obviously a major point, and that not only was it this woman, but it was someone who worked for him. I mean, he wasn't some powerful mogul the way Weinstein was, but still, it's her boss, so it's definitely a complicated issue. We plan on talking about this more in the overtime for members, but that's going to conclude the Get Political segment for today. Thanks so much for listening. If you want to see a live show, I'm performing this Friday night, November 24th at Reno's Kitchen from 7 to 9 p.m. For more details, head to soulbrothermike.com. Thanks so much for listening. We'll be back next week with a new episode of Get Fit and The Record Club. Stay tuned and stay collected.